this one, Hypog. I think on paper, your thinking man, your betting man will sit there and go, yes, this will be more likely than not a guild-favored map. But Oxygen refuse to lose. These guys will put up performances that I think have surprised all of us. They've beaten the best in their region. They've stayed alive throughout this tournament and put up good games. I want no discredit given to Oxygen here because these guys have been performing, but this might be that hurdle too far.
It is, yeah. And again, we've got to take into account Oxygen trying to kind of read into that. With this roll switch up and Toronto coming on to raise, but hold that thought. It's a fast start to this pistol round as Oxygen going to tear their way down a long, but Draken goes unchecked initially. Got that get out of jail free card, so we'll TP away.
Okay, so information early found, I guess player rather than utility, but this hit isn't going to be stopping. They take a quick glimpse towards safe, but the trades are coming out. Bonka with the up and over towards Mites, but look at these trades. This is a bloody battle, but Yassine is holding strong. Zistow now in the 1v2. The spike is in his hands.
Perfectly placed.
Yassine's come in. All right, he had a rough start to that previous game. We've seen him having a couple of slow beginnings. This is him now hitting that streak. That form has come in at the right time.
And this is the man you want to come alive in the map 3, right? When it matters the most. Again, Oxygen just trying to, I guess, force the issue, play trades in this scenario. Just stack up and throw bodies out the site. The guild holds strong. And really off the back of Draken, I guess being tucked in that position, able to get out and play and effectively play his life way more effectively than any other agent in that scenario. And how much we'll see that become a part of them. On defense, again, that really kind of showed us what he was capable of in attack. But the big question is around defense. I mean, you're seeing as he caught backside with that gravity well, but escapes with 2 HP.
Just about. He is barely alive. And Mites finds safe. That was Yassine. I wouldn't have blinked, but no, that was a way healthier player. Spike is now going in. Draken going to try and engage towards this. Flash comes out. It's not ideal, but Leo did get Turco. And Leo, we've said his name, and maybe that's what it takes for him to come alive. But down to a 2v2, and we're on the site still. Classics Ghost, but a Spectre upgrade comes out for Toronto. That's huge. This could be a game changer. Tries to isolate one. Toronto's right there on the trade. And now look at this. Bonka gives away position towards the spike. Tries to toy with Toronto's patience, and he has to check on it. He has to look, but he was so ready to believe that he was sitting that one, and Bonka played him like a fiddle.
Yeah, and interesting there. I mean, Toronto he gets the paint shell back online after getting 2 kills and decides to throw it towards a link on backside, as opposed to saving that for the defuse. And really that there is, I gotta say, it just misjudging that situation altogether. He's got a perfect opportunity to rely on his utility there and bounce it off the wall. Stop that defuse coming through. Ultimately put Bonka in a very awkward position. He has to be the one to take the peak, but yeah, it's just looking at 2 sheriffs, Spectre, well, 3 sheriffs, obviously Draken, the third, a Frenzy as well.
Tell me who won the first 2 rounds from the economy. So
we're going to try and ride this one out, but it's going to be difficult here again. Guild not opting to play proactively here to close this bonus out. Instead, waiting for Oxygen to kind of close the distance themselves, where their weapons are going to be way more effective. But in sight, open on a platter. You're seeing with a nasty shot actually onto Toronto, but
shouldn't matter, but it was nasty. Okay, spike planted. Oh, Bonka's going on this. Early ult. Awkward tag. But Yassine gonna pop down the nade. I'm waiting to see how this kind of becomes more of a threat for now. We're looking for that mayhem to kind of kick in. The wall's still in place, keeping back 3 players, so they're not going to get away through just yet. Mites still going to keep safe, at least towards Garage. You're going to have glove finding Bonka. Nothing really worrying yet. No sweat on the brow. Leo's going to find Zisto, but that's okay, and Yassine. This is where it gets costly. This is where we talk about the economy a little more. You want to keep these rifles. You want to keep this round. And Yassine can't get a gun away here.
Yeah, tries to find another on the way out, and he will die to the spike here to get that economy boost. Let's try and find Turco from along, but 3 kills. Again, it's good damage done. And you've seen got the showstopper online. That's one of the things you look to get going early on in the half. Bonka obviously really getting himself off to a good start. Did invest the Hunter's Fury there to try and turn the tides. Guild in that round, but unfortunately it was only really you've seen the saw any damage off the back of that.
Yeah. Little unlucky. And great attempt from Yassine to keep things being costly. You can see Bonkar is suffering a little bit in the old funds department, but it happens. Deep nade. Look at this. Hold on. Look at this aggression going down. The double dip on aggression, and Turco just laughs. Just swats them away like they're nothing, and now it's just take the site, boys. Let's get in there. That's a gift from the gods. You don't get that often. Toronto don't even post it really at this point.
That's been what I've talked about. That's why I've mentioned the proactive defense rounds from Guild. This time, well greeted. High Oxygen immediately shuts it down, and three members of Guild go up to just save this one out. And I guess positioned to look for some exits right now. Faith's got himself a spy cam all the way over in spawn, so it looks like they're actually going to play this one very deep. And damage control as best as possible here. Still slow now, just about got the gist of things. They know what is up. I guess trying to avoid, you know, any stack towards long here to play those exits. I think Guild's going to give them anything. I don't think Oxygen want to go hunting either.
No. This should be just kind of stay as is. 2-2. I'm really looking at Oxygen here to do some damage now. They can start chipping away at Guild's confidence. They can get these rounds going on the board because, as I said, you know, if you're Guild, if you're coming into this, you know that you've made it to that third map, which is technically probably more favorable to you than the others. I don't know, splits in there. You know, it is still played by Oxygen, and it has been kind of decently put. They've picked up some decent wins in there, but I'd say on paper it's still sat there. But if Oxygen take away a good couple of rounds, start getting in the heads of Guild, this could maybe change up the momentum. Let's say if they do enough damage, I want to see if Guild can recover, or if they get that little too much of a tilt going. We'll see for now as the early kind of beginning starts, and we do have, once again, a very similar beginning to an extent of the fact that Lisa Stout kind of takes his time playing the Killjoy as expected, trying to keep that kind of information and control on the map, staying somewhat relevant. You know, Yoru doing Yoru things, Draken there going to keep himself able to be as mobile as possible if required. Bonkar for the early info, and there it is. TP's over, Draken's right there in support. So it's quite nice. I really like the way the Haven works with Yoru. It really is a very viable agent, when, especially when you see Draken playing it like this.
Hold on from Bonkar, going to clear out sewers here, but shouldn't going to be able to break line of sight from it. No, they decide to actually face and actually, yeah, fall back away from this. So they wanted to give that information away to pivot back towards C. Previously,
this is the classic double pump.
Yeah.
Cage triggered.
And so far, we have to see if Leo gets any sort of displacement to position. So far, he's getting unchecked on, and I've never seen Leo miss an opportunity like that, and these are mistakes that will cost you. Yassine's got one back. We've got 13 seconds. Eyes on that spike. It is still down. It is not to hand. It is not being planted. Yassine's put his body on the line, and Draken now works his way in. This could be huge. 5 seconds. Spike is in. He's going to be in such an unpredictable spot. They had no idea. The flash comes out. The turn's in from Mitters.
Just TP as well.
What does Draken do with this? He goes the steps further forward. Mitters sits. He's got to know who's on the site. He's got to have that information. The gun barrel gives away the game, and Mitters' patience pays dividends, waiting patiently for that first pixel out of place. And Oxygen, they are not giving up. This is unrelenting pressure.
I mean, if Yassine gets another half second to reset there, and Draken's able to come through with his ultimate, maybe they can string something together. Fortunately, Yassine, again, I think as soon as he sees the spike drop on the first kill, he wants to double dip, but you can see just as soon as he comes out, the angle's perfect for Mites. Again, not tucked into the corner, holding a little bit of an off angle here, but He's straight back into it. Look at this, a 1-for-1 trade, and Draken posted again here. This comes through. Yeah. They still get to kill. What? They
Feels
even
bad,
hard
man.
cleared him with like 3 separate pieces of utility and swung it.
That is a feels bad, but as it stands, you're seeing Draken and Bonker. You take the small victories, but it looks like this round could still be exceedingly favorable towards Oxygen. They've got a good read here. For now, though, Draken's got himself on towards C, so he's in the right place for this. You got that mid play coming out from your scene, trying to take some space, even just with that Sheriff. And nah, not gonna happen this time. We've seen the crazy plays. I think it was Yampy doing like one of those baiting with the old Sheriff, swinging with the Judge, but not this time. None of that coming through. And you're down to your scene and Bonker, who, in reality, utility-wise, weapon-wise, are outmatched here.
2v3, so... Oh, Scene does find Turco tucked in. A little bit more damage done, but now Bonker in a tricky, to say the least, situation here with a Spectre. He's got to get close enough to really do damage here, but gets a tag on both, actually. A good opportunity to find both these kills, but this dude will survive. 47 HP. Again, time constraints there would have been difficult for Bonker to close that round out and ultimately get the defuse, but again, some chip damage done to the economy. I did see Mites up on 9k there, though, but at this scoreline, it's actually pretty surprising he's able to ride that through for these early rounds.
One enemy remaining.
See, really, if Guild have got... They got back online. You're seeing 3 away from the showstopper. They got a Cosmic Divide. Bonker and Draken and Safe, all 2 away from theirs. Safe back on the operator.
He's not had a good start here either, Safe, so this could be a bit of a change-up if he's able to actually do something with it. And if they've read this correctly, right, they've pressured Ceylon constantly. The switch up now through towards Garage, utilizing the Killjoy ult is going to just force him away. You either sit towards the back of site, which can already be cleared, we know that, and just Scene does find Toronto. Okay, Oxygen haven't found the easiest start here. I mean, I was
going to say, Lothar's going to be very happy to see Toronto try to body block that paint shell. Unfortunately, it didn't pay off.
He did, yeah, there was a bit of a wallbang there as well, but Mites now walking towards middle, opens it up, that gives away the game, but Guild are aware that they'll be looking for other opportunities now. And Safe's still on the case, you still have that up in play. Gloves found Draken in the back lines, that's going to create maybe a chance for the flank to come in, and weird positioning could come out from this if they actually go for the playback through.
Hunter's Fury as well, though, so really relies on these players on site to draw this. Both Cosmic Divides come up.
This could be big. Turco now has to give away a lot of space on it to try and double up towards the connector towards C. Turco now dips back in, but he's got so much pressure coming his way from several potential players. There he is, though, finding Bonker, and now Safe just gets annihilated. How do they pull off these? How do they pull this off?
Like I said, there really it's all on Turco and Zisto to just stay alive, right? And they actually opt to take the fights. Ultimately, they just need to live out so that Gloves Hunter's Fury is the securing factor in that round, and comes down to it. It's unfortunate. I mean, so it's the one player, right, on the other side of Garage that can just immediately shut down that lockdown team with the paint shells.
5-2. Now, we've had previous map, Safe having a belter of a performance. Quiet start here. Didn't quite get the op run that he wanted, but it's okay. Now, other than that, looking towards Oxygen, I can't help but look towards the likes of Turco and Mites, who've been instrumental in some of these rounds as well. I mean, Zistow's seemingly, if he gets away with the lurk as well, he's outstanding at it. I'm just going to keep my eyes on your scene. He had a good start. We have to see more of that going forward. Draken looking like he wants to maybe instigate something to this, and Zistow has found your scene, so that's a big scout to be claiming to start with, and it's going to force Draken to back away from this. They have to respect that. A little bit of damage. Can't get away with the same sort of maybe cheeky angles as before. Need to clear. That could put Bonker in a bad spot. Yeah, forced across. Yeah, done for. Lovely work from Toronto. Very clean. I will always give credit to teams trying to keep these rounds as clean as possible. Utilize utility well. Actually invest it into these rounds because otherwise danger could happen. Leo does get one, but no more.
Safe now. Last man standing, Sheriff in hand. Again,
Spike planted.
whether or not you can get any damage done here to quell some of the momentum, but at this point I don't even think it matters. Oxygen have done so well in terms of maintaining this economy early on. See with the way these rounds are playing out. We're going to struggle towards the back end of this half.
Clean. Very, very clean. Now, I hate the conversation about side bias because people are always like, man, but it's an attacking sided map. Well, yeah, Guild are pretty quite good on their attack too. So, you know, as long as they give themselves enough of a buffer, don't worry about it. You know, if this does end up with only 2 rounds garnered, then yeah, there's a conversation to be had. We can take our time on this. Again, I wouldn't say that Guild specifically only look good on one side. We were a little curious how maybe Yoru, when we previously saw it, would work out on the defensive side, but we saw it being extremely viable on the attack. So again, I'm not too fussed just yet. I want to characterize that at least Oxygen are putting in very, very, very good performances so far. And that's a little sketchy and scary for any Guild fan. We do see the op coming out for Draken, so yeah, he's going to show you that he definitely can use it. The leg gets just ripped away at. Toronto limping his way down towards Sewer. Going to get checked on again. Didn't get too much more information, but Mitters does find Draken. That's the op gone.
There is again, he's trying to play this spot behind bricks. Been cleared a couple of times, so surprising really to see that as this does get spotted out. And that's going to be the trigger for the showstopper. Yassine pick that one up, brings it back to a 4v4, but the hit's coming through on A, and it all lies on Bonkar now. Hunter's Fury available. He might try and stop this initially or do some damage with a shock dart. We'll reset back towards spawn.
Okay.
He's going to sink this with the retake here.
Yeah, okay, here we go. So going to try and clear out Hell, allow an easier way forward. Bonker. Okay, let's see what we can get going now. They've got to start this one building. Time will begin to dwindle. Toronto is low HP. Mittez is certainly low HP too, and he will be found by the nade. Now he needs to keep going though. Turco, Glove, Glove still got his ult online, so keep that in the back of your minds. They've cleared out Hell, but they clear out all the players. No chance for a response, and the retake stands. Guild get the defuse after what I thought was going to be a mop-up for Oxygen.
Beautiful. And then again, it's on the back of Bonkar gets 2 really good tags there, and Yassine isolates that one player of Graffiti. I'm not sure who it was that actually fell there, but great utility usage on the way back in here. You see the tag right here. You can see Yassine just bounce the nade onto Graffiti. That's actually Mittez, yeah, that gets flushed out of that corner, and that's ultimately retaking A. That's the hardest crossfire to break.
Yes.
Is between Hell and Graffiti there. So the utility usage on point by Guild.
That was lovely work. Really, really clear on their protocols as to how do they want to play back in towards that. Op still back invested towards Draken here, but obviously on the other side now for Oxygen, their money is still pretty stable at this point. Yassine getting out time towards middle there, needs to back away on this. Draken's got his back though on the counter swing that wanted to come out from Glove to maybe punish Yassine, gets put to bed to start with. Now Oxygen though looking for other options. They thought they've gotten away from it once. You like versatility in your upping, do you, Lauren? Well, enjoy a bit of this. No, maybe not. Toronto. Just better. And now he's got to speed up towards the side. They want to try and maybe pinch towards this if they can. It looks like they're trying to clear out as they go. Bonker on the peak towards Sewer, loses his life. And this is looking like an Oxygen round now. Yassine, though. Oh, Yassine. He doesn't care for what the odds are saying. He wants it all himself. Turco's quick reply, though, quells that threat. Suddenly, the spike can be planted. And this 3v2 becomes incredibly difficult for Guild.
Leo needs to find one of these kills. Mittez again in that position on Graffiti. This time, though, the dig his heels in. We'll find that kill. The turret spots out safe. 2 swings on that contact, and Turco closes things out. Do you know, I love that. I was looking at it where Draken had put his TP down. He peeks B, gets that pick, then TP's over to A, and as he swings onto long, anticipating that Oxygen are going to reset back on and look towards aggression onto A long. Now, Toronto just lands a 1-tap onto him, so it pretty much negates that play altogether.
Yeah.
But I love this. We talk about the operator being viable on a handful of agents. Right there, again, Yoru's ability to rotate so quickly
It's mad,
and find
isn't it?
another angle. It's just perfect.
It's a really, really scary idea of how much you could refine that, especially in, you know, Draken's hands, anyone's hands. We've got a 4-play stack towards C for the defensive side here. Now, maybe trying to make up for the lack of some weaponry here. Safe is lower, Bonkar is lower on the totem, but apparently Leo is just fine. Finding 2. Creating space. Yassine needs to hold the line here. Toronto's going to dive on in. Yassine mid-airs him. Underhand nade as well. This is you shall not pass sort of territory here. Oxygen trying it again, and this time being red. Good predictive play from Guild, and maybe this would be their 4th on the board, and they need it. They need this buffer.
I'm going to keep talking about it again, though. Draken taking first contact, baiting that push to come in, and straight away, as soon as it comes, he hits the rotation. He TPs away.
It's incredible. It's looking great for Yoru on this map specifically, and I'd love to see how it works on others. But for now, I want to see if this 2v4 is going to go any other way than it should. Draken knows what's up. He's playing this well, needs to find a little bit of a way to dip away. He's being chased down by Mitters, but look at it! The attention gets drawn away. Yassine follows it in. This is why we love this combination. This duo has been excellent on this map. We love this adaptation, and I love the fact all these teams are bringing out new looks here.
But let's talk about this as well, because Oxygen was so, we credited them in map 1 for the mid-round calling, right? Draken is now leaning on that. They're showing contact, potentially giving the hint away for a stack, and straight away he hits the TP. Was anticipating Oxygen doing what they did so well in map 1, which is finding information, finding a couple of players, anticipating that rotate coming out, and then just hitting a completely different site. And Haven, honestly, it's the playing field for that, right? It's the mind games. It's the map of rotations.
Now, look at it this way.
Pulling them in.
Guild can get a buffer now that might get them through on the half to live through a pistol and maybe a couple of errors. If Oxygen still close out strong here, this is still going to be sketchy. Toronto taking a lot of early damage is not going to help matters. Glove going to just send this one back in. There's no one on that side. They are mostly towards Garage. And look at this lean. Look at how they are approaching this. We have a deep play towards A long. We have kind of very quick play as well and kind of dedicated play towards Garage. And Draken's already found Turco. That's him playing from that connector at the back between C and B. He can dip away from this now. That's huge information found. Ultimate invested. But these flanks are going to be weird. These are a little out of sorts.
Yeah, I want to see Zisto get off site here because he has the lockdown ultimately to close this out. He's going to invest it on site, which is an interesting decision. Whether or not they're able to stabilize, but the showstopper going to come through, invested elsewhere. Look at this, the trades come through thick and fast.
Yeah, they certainly do, but somehow favorably towards Oxygen. Looking at the way they were standing, I didn't expect it. And now 2 players just having to suffer through that, and Leo being one of them can only really sit back and watch as this round gets taken out of his hands. Oxygen making this impossible to play back in on, and they just give themselves that lovely, comfortable 8 to come back in with. This is still a very good half from Oxygen. Guild gave themselves a buffer. It ain't much, keep in mind. 4 rounds is workable, but it ain't much. Oxygen, I still feel at this point, have at least the beginning of an advantage.
Do indeed. But really, this comes back to what we alluded to in the pre-show, really, is how well prepared Oxygen are. What Guild are going to try and achieve with Draken on attack here. Whether or not we actually see Draken lean more towards a traditional duelist role than being the one to kind of get inside the heads of Oxygen. But expect Guild to do their cut and dry every round, explore a lobby, establish a little bit of early round control, and then lean away unless they find a kill. No surprises here in the pistol round so far.
Deploying drone.
Looks committed. This looks like it's going to be the all-in piece. Safe with the spray, trying to keep them further away. Glove kind of caught up by this. Does manage to dip for now. Draken, though, looking getting towards sight. And there he goes. We've seen it before. They seem all too aware, though, knowing what he got up to last time around. But Safe and Leo still in combination. Toronto called upon to try and do the dance on the site. 2 kills is huge. The 3rd evades. He couldn't quite convert that. But now we're left in the 1v2, and the HP is low. Yassine, a little heavier on the HP than Bonkar was. Spike to be planted. He knows where both players are. He gets one. He knows the spike plant was the last. Where it goes down now. Can try and keep track on the cross here.
19 versus 21 HP.
Okay, Bonker, do you expect it? Do you predict it? The timing's everything! Zisto bows down him. It's a 1v2, and this poses problems for Guild now. They will be put down in this, and double digits becomes a real possibility for Oxygen sooner rather than later.
Just early on there, again, Draken makes for that play towards Hell with the TP, and unfortunately nobody's close enough to kind of follow up on it. You can see 3 players stacked behind default, ready and waiting for the TP. This is exactly it, look. They're so ready for that TP to come through. Yes, they get the trades, but I can't help but feel, you know, they keep one extra body alive there, and the post plant's a little more comfortable for Guild.
A little bit of a panic might set in here now. I'm looking at this as the pistol's not everything. It can be recovered, but it's a huge step.
Yeah. Again, Guild or early A lobby control.
Speaking of
Elsewhere,
exploring. Spawn.
there's a
3. Don't start wheeze laughing. Okay, so for now, luckily, this round shouldn't have too many consequences to it other than it being double digits for Oxygen. There's frenzies, there's ghosts. Yes, of course they can do something with it. It's just you'll put your money on it being Oxygen to convert it. Let's see what Guild do with this, though. Good start for Mitez. Needs a little more, though. Wants more, but does he overstep? No, for now he's keeping himself at least, you know, relatively well situated with HP at 84. And they've warded off the initial attempt. And while this happens, Safe has been building towards the other side of the map. There is still a double stack here, though.
Yeah, this is crazy, actually. They've left 2 over here to greet Safe. Now,
Out of
Guild do try and reset towards this side of the map. I guess anticipating Safe, maybe finding a bit of space, but looking like this might be double digits for Oxygen here. Spike dealt with, Bonkar falls, Draken the last man standing. A little bit of damage, but no way he digs himself out of this position.
Don't mess with me.
4 seconds left. He's another kill, maybe. Nope, Turco will deal with him. Things get shut down, and this is where you start panicking.
Yeah.
Guild backs against the wall. What's left in the tank, Lauren?
Yeah, that is the big question. This is survival now. Double digits has been reached, and coming to this haven, let's just, you know, without context, without too much, you know, clarification, this hasn't been a great map for Oxygen in the past. They haven't played it a lot, and when they did, they didn't get brilliant results. It's not one of their higher tier sort of maps, but right now they're playing a good game on this. We are seeing them elevating their play, and you can't help but support an underdog in some of these scenarios. You gotta love to see it. Going against our expectations coming out here, but they have to get across that finish line. Now, this round would be the bonus now. If this gets converted, that's something else. That's a whole different kettle of fish. As it stands, though, those rifles should reign supreme. But for Guild, that sinking feeling of a long road back will be coming.
Yeah, I hate to say it, but to this point, you know, potentially the cracks start to show. Guild a little more cautious about exploring a lobby early on. Dean will greet the owl drone. Again, it's just the default round from Guild. Creep down sewers.
Satchel out.
Oxygen, they could just sit here. They've got to deal with the wall. They've got to dig both these players out of the spot. Glove might actually get pulled out with that nade. For how it didn't, but
Amazed he's alive.
30 seconds left.
30 seconds on this hit. It's got to be now. They don't check on Glove. He's gone away with murder. That's a freebie. Zistal's found Safe. This is where it could all fall to pieces. This is the bonus round, boys. What is going on here? Leo's going to find one. Doubles down the time. 10 seconds remain. And it's desperation. Draken at the back of the site, though, does secure. Spike plant comes in. And a 2v3 that, well, if you're Oxygen, why not give it a crack? See what you can get out of it. Make it costly.
Last player standing.
Leo does find Zistal, leaving Automitas now. What? Okay. No chance of anything else to come from that. To stay alive, which will put the economy in a bit of a tricky spot for Guild, but the round is on the board.
bigger picture, actually. I mean, yeah, Oxygen, I got the major buy back there. I'm not sure how much is going to be left in the
10
bank,
seconds
but
left.
mountains to climb if you guild. A 5-round deficit. Gonna be delicate from here on out. Ultimates wise, Leo one away from the Cosmic Divide. Draken does have the dimensional drifts, and this is really where we saw guild impress with their executions around this. Now, Brown's gonna send his TP out all the way back behind Platt here, and he's gonna come and explore site. Mitez actually does greet Yassine on the way in, not even respecting the ultimate.
Oh,
Bonker, no! The bounce on the shock dart. Oh no.
God, that's an absolute disaster. Safe's... Yeah, Safe's going to be a nuisance. He's drawn players away, but you've got to just... having the oxygen ripped from your lungs at that moment. Leo's found a starter towards this style, but by now, they still need a lot more to go their way here. And here we have it. You thought you were going to take some free space. No, no. No, you're not. Mitez has been great at threading the needle on these as well, finding that little bit of room just to pinch the cross to and from. Now 40 seconds, Hypoc. You got to pick yourself up off the floor here.
Doing. Also, we're going to wait out the first Cosmic Divide. The second will fall momentarily. There you go. 3 players of Oxygen here to greet this push from Guild. It's so difficult. I mean, they need to find 2 clean entries here. Where Meters is playing. Oh, Safe goes for the 50-50 the wrong way. 10 seconds left now. Look at this. Leo will trade back, but Spike falls.
Spike down. C.
Oxygen are going to be able to stabilize here on C site. Turco swings out. Nothing left for Leo to do here as third on the round. No time for the... no. It's fallen apart for Guild at the 11th hour. Oxygen, 11 rounds now. Look at the economy.
Yeah.
This is heartbreaking with the journey that Guild have been on the last few weeks in particular, but the last few months overall comes down to this, and I gotta say, just a couple of mistakes here and there. In a couple of important rounds as well, Lauren.
Yeah, well, that's the key part, isn't it? Oxygen aren't letting it slip in those key rounds. They are not letting it slip at all. They are holding on to this with everything that they've got. Now, this is everything that Guild's got money-wise. They've put it all into this. They know it's now or never. Iceland, the chance that next game resides on this. And Oxygen on the verge of it all. They have surpassed all of our expectations, keep in mind. None of us really expected a run like this on a map that should never have been theirs. At 11-5, it's not over yet, but it's looking like the Guild fans are going to be quieter this evening. For now, though, Bonker trying to get things started, create that space towards C, and the side take is on. Counter utility hinders progress.
Oh,
Say
no.
goodbye. The combination is deadly. And Heartbreak sounds just about right, Hypoc. Again, this isn't pretty.
Get the spike down.
Spike planted.
No ultimates available in this, though. A Spectre and 3 rifles, one of them being a Bulldog. Zisto actually going to invest the lockdown here to force Guild off the site. Nothing to stop this from happening, so a couple of Guild members going to try and fight this out, but Turco has the wall as well.
Shock dart. Standing ahead.
We go again. Spike now being toyed with. Zisto's on it. He wants to hold that at least towards half. He's going to stick right on through. And now just Safe left alive in a 1v3. It's going to be everything that Oxygen wanted. Guild are just seeing the finish line, the hurdle, just clipping them on the knees, and they're just bowing down in these final moments. 12-5 now. Oxygen have surprised us all here, but it's not done just yet. Guild have one more go, Hypoc. That's all that they've got. This is it. All the narrative that we've seen, the entire way that they've been getting better and better, the improvements could stop now. The love, the adoration we've had to seeing Yoru coming out could all be but done in one round. 12-5. This is what it comes down to. Oxygen on the verge of giving themselves the desperate lifeline that they need.
They're going to get themselves straight down long, and again, just on contact, they're going to wall off That was Glove and Turco to just top and bottom on the double box here. Aldo from Bonkar comes through, but nobody to follow up on that. And look at it. Protocols in place, the utility usage stopping any of this early round planning from Guild. Have to come away safe. Shows his face on B side, but again, Oxygen no need to hold on to that. Got the Killjoy utility in place. And the turret gonna spot out the garage push as well. This is not looking good for Guild.
No, it looks like the opportunities are slipping through their fingertips already. Mittez now waits patiently, gets 20, turns back around. Bonkar says no. Zistow now going to be warded away, but Toronto's found safe. And now just 3 of the Guild players stand with Oxygen up at 4 on the verge of victory now. And it all comes back into, can Guild hold this? Glove says no. Bonkar just disintegrated. Leo and Draken with everything, with the team's hopes on the line. A matter of life or death here. Leo and Draken finding kills as needed. And Turco, do you want to go through now? No. You give them one more chance at it. Guild get to live to fight one more day.
You're just looking at the buy coming back in, and Safe going to be struggling. Yassine actually looking as the most comfortable of the members of Guild that fell.
One enemy remaining.
Really, I gotta say, Guild claw their way back into that round. Felt as if they're on the back foot coming in. Oxygen was so well prepared for this C hit coming through. All 3 members, though, kind of stacked back towards spawn.
Careful here. Pulling them in.
And the 3rd member this time around from Oxygen committed to A, other than Toronto. This time, Safe does find value in mid. Zisto falls.
3 players towards sewer. They've seen 1. Bonkar this time. Trying to get some damage done. Doesn't quite get what he wants with that. The overwhelm from Glove comes in. We need to keep this clean as possible. Again, Toronto is low HP. There is no armor there. Mittez, hey look, Mittez is always a danger, and if he gets this right, he's towards garage, right? Now, if he catches across, if he does some damage on this, Team Flash comes out a little, but not a lot. Draken's already going to be safely towards site, but the spike's now going to cross over, and they haven't checked on it! Yeah. No way! Mittez is giving them chances that should not exist, and now Toronto, does he get away with it? Yes! Oh my god, not like this! No way is it going to happen like this. Safe has been clutch for Guild. Surely you don't want this to be how it goes down. You want to fight one more time. But Mittez gave them the opportunity, and Toronto doubled down on it, and Safe, they're both towards garage. They're both going to walk back in, and he's gambled it. He's going to look towards CT. They're not there. 1 on the side. Mittez watches. Mittez loses life, and now Toronto in a 1v1. Safe has everything to be played with. The rifle, the armor, and now he holds. And the timing.
They're literally just
They're
wrapping
walking around each other. They are so close on this, and Safe. No way! He looks the wrong way, and that's all it comes down to. Oxygen have beaten Guild to stay alive and keep hopes alive of going to